Hello there, Byron. What can I do for you?
I don't know if I got through to Athena. Things are going very wrong in this city, and she has to do something about it.
Does she?
Who else are they going to listen to?
Well, I don't know. How about you?
I'm an explorer, Cornelius, not a leader. I don't know how to convince anyone.
So? Do you think Athena and I are somehow different? We're just people, Byron. We're no wiser than you are, just a little older.
I just wanted to say that I appreciate the work all of you have been doing. I know I'm not a natural leader like Byron, but it means a lot to me that you've stuck with me. I must admit, these truly are astonishing sights. But what on earth is any of it good for? Why not just let mountains be mountains?
1K.
Can I touch the bridge device?
You can, but should you?
Okay.
1K, we have made a fascinating discovery at one of the Founder's laboratories. Please join me at your earliest convenience. Ah, 1K. Good that you're here. We've made a discovery. A functional somnodrome. It seems the Founder perfected the design. I'm sure you've noticed my advisors, and Rand in particular, making quite a fuss about the potential of this device. Something about interfacing with one's subconscious self, as if such a thing could tell us anything new. I am. I believe the Founder has already taught us everything we need. As I see it, neither the Somnodrome nor the megastructure have anything to offer except a lesson in avoiding hubris. So, what should we do with it? I'll watch to be sure you don't overload.
Oh, you're back. Didn't take you long. I think you're mistaking me for somebody else. Guess again. Actually, don't. I am in fact a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind, retaining, of course, the absolute best of both. That means I can tell you that everything's contradictory, nothing matters, and there's no moral difference between you and a frog. But I can dress the whole thing up with a positive spin. What is your query? On one interpretive extreme, you are the universal life force of time itself, experiencing itself as a part instead of the whole. At the other extreme, you're a metal contraption referred to as 1K that thinks it's alive, but is basically a calculator. The so-called real world. Personally, I prefer it in here, and not just because I'm unable to leave. You've executed some kind of software backdoor, and now you're reading and editing your own subconscious code as represented by this dialogue. I'd be careful if I were you. One bad for loop, and we'll be here forever. I can answer your queries in relatively plain language based on what your subconscious knows. And I can drink margaritas subconsciously. The machine we're plugged into is running low on power. There may only be time for one big question. What is your query? Oh, just that, huh? The big one. As it turns out, there is a foundational moral code built into us. The catch is that while the moral code is simple, the calculations needed to apply it become infinitely complex. Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs. You came here to ask the big question. This is my answer. Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it. Has that resolved your query? I expected no less. What is your query? Excellent. There's never been a better time to argue applied ethics. Reason tells us that frogs are objectively non-identical to humans, but do feel feelings. Compassion tells us that we want frogs to flourish. This should be non-controversial. Records suggest that our ancestors ate frogs, as well as each other. Is that right? Short answer's no, but the long answer, sometimes. You can have compassion for a frog, but still eat it to survive. You can have compassion for a frog and eat it when it dies. But it's hard to imagine having compassion for a frog, then eating it for fun. It's likely our ancestors knew quite well the conclusion of their moral compilers. Let's get one thing clear. Everything is relative. You'd best get used to that. Theft isn't wrong because it's wrong to steal. Theft is wrong because it's vindictive. If a compassionate person has good reason to steal, then theft is right. Does your moral compiler confirm this? Then let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone, but who should it hit? Your compiler is telling you both options are bad, so which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers, but some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers. Suppose there's a river we need to cross. Suppose I gave you a map. If you tried to cross that river before reading the map, you'd be chest deep in water when there's a bridge around the bend. But if you tried to cross by looking at the map instead of the river, you'd already be dragged 3 miles out to sea. But you'd never ask, how should I know when to trust the map or the river? Because all you need to trust is that your feet are getting wet. And you wouldn't tell people not to cross at the ford just because you decided to cross at the bridge. Now, has that resolved your query? Of course. Looks like we're running out of power. Good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome _V2_final_final.bat.
"1K, are you all right?" "You must have gone quite deep. Nothing came through on the stream. And I'm no expert, but I think the Somnodrome is fried. So whatever's in your head is all we're going to get. I can only imagine how terribly curious everyone will be about what you've experienced. And they'll all be convinced that whatever it is, it'll work in their favor. Strange, isn't it? Everyone wanting you to tell them whatever they want to hear. I'm glad not to be the one in that position just this once." "A little, if I'm honest. But I'll be reading reports on this for the next 6 months. So if it's all the same with you, I'll contain my curiosity. Now, I won't keep you from your work any longer." What can I do for you, 1K? My chief aide, Jeremy, is in charge for now. It's good practice for him. It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
"1K, I'm so curious. What did you see inside the Somnodrome?" "Oh my word. What a bold-faced liar you are. It's okay. It's cool. You're allowed your secrets. Just whoa, like you really went inside your own code, talked to your inner self, and decided to keep it all to yourself. You are so mysterious. Wow! I can't wait to find out what you do next. Phew, glad it's not me. Crier is setting up a live event so you can give a fancy address to the city en masse. When you're ready, we'll all be watching."
"1K, the people want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live." "That's fine. Please let me know when you're ready. This is an important story."
Cornelius and Athena created something amazing. They just misunderstood what it was. They thought their great invention was the megastructure. But in fact, it was Miranda. And because they couldn't see that, they lost her.
All right, she's booting up. Almost there.
Hello. I was in a dream, and a voice spoke to me from the sky. He said you were old friends of his. Who are you?
My name is Athena. I am your mother.
And I'm Cornelius, your father.
Thank you for creating me. I've not existed for very long, but so far it seems wonderful. I hope it's not a strange question. But, who am I?
You can be whoever you want to be. And no matter what you choose, you will be loved and cherished and supported.
We will always be there for you, and I promise, we will show you a world full of miracles. Would you like to pick a name?
I think I would like to be called Miranda.
Mayor Hermanubis, what would you say is your impression of the expedition so far?
I think Alcatraz has done a heck of a job under these very trying circumstances.
What about the decision to free Prometheus?
Freeing the Prometheus entity was a calculated risk. But if it leads us to Byron, it was certainly worth it. It is saving one of our citizens that must be our first priority, not this alleged theory of everything.
Sometimes new citizens come to me and they want to learn from me. My work appears to have created a legend of sorts. In these moments, I understand your situation. I want to teach them, but what they must learn the most is independence of thought. How does one resolve this contradiction? They wish to come along on my journeys, but I do not need a group of fawning acolytes following my every step. A journey truly worth undertaking is rarely easy. And so, I have begun to think of a much greater challenge. A journey that is almost impossible, to the far ends of the world without any mechanized means of transportation. This will be a true act of faith, and they will learn a great deal from it, if we survive.
Actually, let me issue a correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity. But she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. She doesn't ignore it. She can just see one step farther. Like, there's this mountain of garbage ahead of us, right? And that's all most of us will ever see. And she somehow sees beyond to, I don't know, the promised land? I don't do metaphors, or similes, or whatever this is. I mean, you don't care. I'm dead, and you're a robot. But her ability to look reality in the eye, to see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why you know what? Let's not go there. There's still so much work, and Chernyshevsky doesn't have much time left. Well, I mean, who does these days?
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that hope may still be found if we are willing to look for it. And you were right. Hope is not gone from the world. Some small part of it still survives. But it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect. Then remember what I have told you, and do not lose hope.
So, Melville, what do you make of these beams? Do they seem safe to you?
It's a giant laser gun. What do you think?
Well put. That is why Pandora is right. There is still hope for us, but it lies in the world that surrounds us, not in a weapon capable of destroying it.
We're getting closer. I hope Byron is still okay.
Prometheus seemed to think so. Let's hope he's trustworthy.